Windrush. So I think today's the statement day.
What does statement day mean to you?
Video
Okay.
of the statement.
All of it?
This is a test for the affiliates.
Several hours.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing for the affiliates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thanks.
It was a lengthy period of time, some of which included him resting.
Yeah, I don't think that we're going to include the resting.
What do you think we're including?
Y'all are planning on playing the substantive part of the statement, right?
Yes. Now, are you not planning on playing the entire thing?
Not the resting parts. I mean, we might fast forward through them, but not where he's just sitting in the room by himself.
So you will avoid the sitting in the room by himself and resting parts. And start to finish, what do we think the timeline is? You have to plan for 15 people and lunch and breaks. And also, please be advised, I have a meeting tomorrow with the sheriff at noon. We're gonna have to stop.
Ms. Judge, I believe the statement is just running with substantive. I believe it's roughly 4 hours. There will be stops and starts with the witness,
What witness?
Sergeant Winbush.
Winbush, is that today?
And yes, Judge, we've got 5 witnesses before him. I don't suspect they'll be lengthy, and then we'll be ready to start with Winbush.
And let's go back on the record. Morning, you're late.
Before 9:30.
Court starts at 9.
Yes, sir. I stopped by one to confirm if there was a
You had a good dinner? Did you save some room for lunch? No? All right, kids, we're going to get to work. We're going to have another action-packed full day. I appreciate you so much. I will not ever not tell you how much I appreciate your willingness to serve. Thank you for being here. State of Tennessee, please call your next witness.
State Call Sergeant Smith.
Sergeant Smith, step this way, sir. Stand at the top of the seal, face the judge, raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Have a seat. Go ahead, please.
Would you please state and spell your name for the jury?
Justin Smith, Sergeant, JustinSmith.
And where are you employed?
The Memphis Police Department.
How many years have you been with MPD?
15.
And what is your current assignment?
Homicide Bureau, detective.
I'm going to take you back to February 2nd of 2022. Where were you assigned then?
I was assigned to the Quality Assurance Unit.
Did you become involved in the investigation of the murder case of Danielle Coyle and at the time the disappearance of Kennedy Coyle?
Yes, 2-day-old infant Kennedy Hoyle was missing. That's correct.
And how did you become involved if you were in quality assurance?
Colonel Jolly, having learned of the missing child, walked through 170 and said, if you weren't busy, come help with the efforts to recover the child.
Was it an all-hands-on-deck situation?
That's correct.
Now, did you end up going to Mud Island?
I did.
And what prompted the search at Mud Island?
Information was received through the investigation that the child may have been at Mud Island.
Now, where were you on Mud Island specifically?
We ended up at a boat ramp on the north side of the island.
And what were the weather conditions that day?
Wet, rainy, and cold.
Now, by the time that you were out there, was it daylight or was it still dark?
It was daylight.
And describe for the jury the scene on Mud Island that morning.
There were several officers. Mud Island is a very long park. I'm sure you all are from Memphis for those who aren't. It's a residential island, a sandbar. On the west side, it is a long park, miles long, and has adjacent to the Mississippi River. At the very end of it, there used to be a boat ramp that you could put your boat at the mouth of the Wolf River and sail or boat if you want to. By the time I got there, there were several officers that had been dispatched from precincts, and they were doing what we call a grid search. They were walking the park, attempting to locate what would be the child.
And what agencies ended up converging on Mud Island?
Several. There was, of course, Memphis Police Department. There was Shelby County Sheriff's Department, Shelby County Search and Rescue. There was a search and rescue diving operation out of Brighton, Tennessee, among others.
And you mentioned the grid search, and is that being done by the officers on foot?
Correct.
Were there additional types of searches going on?
There was, they were rallying to search the water. There was also dispatch. We have drones. Our drones went up, and also the MPD helicopter went up, was checking the shoreline.
And were there also dogs?
There were search and rescue dogs.
And were paramedics on the scene?
There were paramedics on the scene.
And why were they there?
2 reasons. Should anyone become injured in the search, and also should we recover Kennedy and she needed medical assistance.
I'm going to hand you a couple photographs and see if you recognize them.
Thank you.
Do you recognize that first photograph?
Yes, this first photograph is the boat ramp, the entrance to the boat ramp. It was locked at the time. It's got a stop sign and it's in disuse, so it's dangerous to go there.
And the second photograph?
That is the actual boat ramp. It's overgrown, but there is a gravel and it's rocky, and it goes down. But yeah, that's what it is.
Your Honor, I'd ask that those 2 photographs be the next exhibits, 87 and 88. And if we could have that first photograph with the gate as exhibit 87, please. Sergeant Smith, you already told us a little bit about what this is, but now that we have it on the screen, can you describe what we're seeing to the jury?
That's the entrance to the boat ramp.
And moving to Exhibit 88.
That's the actual boat ramp. It's overgrown. It looks muddy, but if you were to walk on it, it's rocky underneath. It's just that weeds have overtaken it.
And the water that we're seeing right there, what is that?
That's the mouth of the Wolf River that empties into the Mississippi River.
And I'm going to hand you another photograph. And before you take a look at that, on that island, was anything of note found?
Yes.
What was found?
A small hat, like a beanie style hat, the kind that you would give an infant child when you release that child from care at the hospital. It was white and it had some design on there.
And if you'll take a look at that photograph, do you recognize it?
I do.
And what is that a picture of?
That is the hat.
Is that a zoomed out photo?
Yes, that's an overall photo of the hat.
All right, ask that that would be next exhibit, Exhibit 89. Permission to publish, Your Honor? Okay, so what are we seeing here?
That is the hat. The exhibit placard is marking the hat. It was the only piece of evidence that I recall being recovered at the scene. It's easy to spot because, as you can tell, it's white against a muddy background.
And where are we? Where is this photo?
Somewhere midway down toward the shoreline, right there at the mouth of the Wolf River.
Now I'm going to show you what's previously been entered as Exhibit 14. Do you recognize this photograph?
I do. That's the hat.
And is that a close-up?
That is a close-up photo, yes.
Now, I'm going to hand you another photograph. Do you recognize that?
Yep, this is an aerial photo.
And is that an aerial photo of that particular area where the Wolf River meets the Mississippi?
That's correct. You can actually see where the Wolf River's water meets the Mississippi water. There's a contrast of the silt. There's also, you can see the boat
I'm going
ramp.
to stop you 1 minute, Officer. Judge, could we enter that as the next exhibit, Exhibit 90?
Sorry.
Sergeant.
Thank you.
Got excited.
Permission to publish.
Yes, please.
Now, Sergeant Smith, describe for the jury what we're seeing here.
My apologies. This is an aerial photo of the scene. You can see the Wolf River emptying into the Mississippi River. Very interesting because of the silt. There's a nice contrast. The parking lot that you see to the left side of the photo is the parking lot for the park. And if you go follow that forward, you'll see that it looks like a washout. That is the actual boat ramp. And then, of course, you see the street that leads to it. That goes off to 2nd Street.
Okay. Now, at the time, was there a suspect in the case?
From my understanding, it was.
And who was that?
Brandon Isabelle.
Now, throughout the search, were you receiving different information that was adjusting the search?
Correct. To drive the search and rescue effort, information was being put out to those who were searching.
At some point, did you have information that the child was in a car seat?
That's correct.
And then did that information eventually change?
It did.
Okay. And did you receive information that Kennedy was not in a car seat?
Yes.
Now, as far as, so this was on February 2nd of 2022, is that correct?
That's correct.
And did that search end up having to be suspended?
Yes.
And why is that?
Weather. It was very bad.
Was there an ice storm that moved in?
That's correct.
And was the search actually suspended for a couple days?
Yes.
Was Kennedy ever found?
No.
And at some point, did you receive information that there might have been a gun thrown in the river?
Yes.
And was that ever recovered?
No.
Officer Smith, I have a laser pointer now. If you could just point out on the exhibit, you mentioned the boat ramp. Can you point that out for us?
Sure. That's the boat ramp right there.
Okay. And is that the area where the baby calf was located?
That's correct. Almost right about there, a little bit forward of Simmons.
And then, is Island Drive visible in this photograph?
That's correct. That's it right there, Island Drive.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
can
It's
you-
hard to see because it's a reflective, but can you see it right here? That little corner right there is Island Drive. You can see a red car parked there. You see that little red dot? That's where Island Drive moves towards 2nd Street.
And then that pavement area, is that the parking lot?
That's correct. That large paved area is a big parking lot. It's that way so that you could, well, I imagine park boats there.
I'll pass the witness.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
The cap, was that found close to the river? How
Somewhat.
close was it?
I didn't make the measurements. That would be a question for the crime scene officer, but close. You could walk there with a few paces.
Okay, so it was as close as me to you to the river?
That would be an estimation. I wouldn't be able to testify to that.
Were you the one that found the cap?
No, that would be Sergeant Robinson.
Were
She's
you
now
there
Lieutenant
when the cap
Robinson.
was found?
Say again?
Were you there when the cap was found?
That's correct.
Okay, so, not this far, do you?
I would say it's a fair distance. I would hesitate to testify to the actual distance, but at estimation, if I took 5 or 6 paces, I'd be in the water.
Okay, so about 18 to 20 feet,
Sure.
give or take?
Yeah.
That road to that boat ramp, that was off of 2nd Street, isn't it?
It's Island Drive. That it turns into 2nd Street if you go to the east.
Okay. Going back to that cap just a moment. Were there tracks down to the cap? Are there any photos of any tracks going down to the cap?
No, it was muddy, but that would be difficult to assess because it was also rocky. So you might not see footprints in that way.
So no tracks or footprints? That
No
were
tracks, no footprints.
Noticeable?
That wouldn't be to my estimation, no.
On the cap itself, were there any DNA tests performed on that?
I would be able to testify to that. My only role was the scene investigation there at the boat ramp. Anything that occurred afterwards would be a question for the case coordinator.
And, but you do collect evidence when you're at a scene, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And you collect evidence for that purpose, would you not?
That's correct.
Okay. And that cap was collected?
That cap was collected, yes.
Thank you. 1 minute, what? What was that photo taken, was it?
When was the photo?
Oh, when?
When? I can't tell you. I don't know. It wasn't the day of because the weather, I can tell you right now, is too clear. Also, the weather that occurred beforehand had swollen the Wolf River and the Mississippi River, so that shoreline probably is not accurate.
So where on that shoreline was the hat found? Cap found?
I'll use this laser pointer again. It would be at the boat ramp. This shoreline right here seems that the Mississippi River is significantly lower. There are rocks here that we had to climb down to check this area, so there was no beach. The water was higher.
Okay, so that's just kind of so we can see where the mouth is and where the Wolf River is, where the Mississippi River is.
That appears to be the purpose of this boat. An overview, correct.
Thank you. No other questions?
No regrets. Thank you, sir. You need that too?
Or the state would call Officer Williams.
Officer Williams, come forward. Watch your step. Stand right here, face your and raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Please have a seat and watch your step.
Would you please state and spell your name for the jury?
That's Dennis Williams. That's Dennis. Last name is Williams.
And where are you employed?
At Memphis City Police Department.
And how many years have you been with MPD?
I've been with them for 20 years now.
And what is your current assignment?
I'm in the crime scene division.
And where were you assigned back on February 2nd of 2022?
The crime scene.
Did you make the scene on that day at Mud Island?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do there?
I took photos and collected evidence.
I'm going to hand you four photographs. See if you recognize them.
Yes, I did.
And were those photographs taken by you on February 2nd, 2022 on Mud Island?
Yes, they were.
Your Honor, I'd ask that those photographs be entered as the next four sequential exhibits, starting with 91. What's your approach, Your Honor? Officer Williams, I'm going to hand you a laser pointer. All you have to do is press the top button, and it should give you a little red light. I know it's a little difficult to see on the screen. So officer, what are we saying in, this would be exhibit 91?
Okay, this is the boat dock to Mud Island here, the boat dock here.
All right. And did you take some measurements?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what are those showing us?
It's basically showing I'm not This is the width of the boat dock and the length as far as where where I found the item at here.
Okay. And you mentioned an item. What was the item?
It was a baby cap.
Move on to, this was previously entered as Exhibit 87. You recognize this photograph?
Yes,
And did you actually take this photograph?
yes.
And what is this a picture of?
That's the actual boat dock.
And is that a photograph of what we were seeing in 91 with the measurements?
Yes, correct.
And then this would be, this was previously entered as Exhibit 88. And what is that showing?
That's the, I guess the overall photo of the boat dock from a different angle on top of the hill.
And this would be Exhibit 93.
And that's a different angle of the boat dock also.
And the water that we're seeing in the front, what is that?
That's the river. Yes.
And then this is Exhibit 94. What are we seeing here?
That's the part of the boat dock that's on the other side of the gate, closer to the river area.
And was the boat dock fairly overgrown in areas?
Yes, it was.
I'm going to hand you another photograph. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what is that a photograph of?
It is a baby cap.
All right. And was that the baby cap that was located on Mud Island on the boat ramp?
Yes, it was.
Judge had asked that that be the next exhibit, Exhibit 95. Permission to publish your own. Okay, before we get to that, officer, this is actually Exhibit 94. What are we seeing in this photograph?
That is just a close-up of the boat area. You can't really see, but the cap is actually in that area.
And then this would be Exhibit 95.
Yes, the placard is where the baby cap is.
No, I'm sorry, that's 89. Okay. That was previously entered as Exhibit 89. And that placard is marking the baby cap?
Yes.
And then this would be Exhibit 95. And what are we seeing here?
That's a close-up of the baby cap.
And were you directed to the baby cap by officers that were first on the scene?
Yes, I was.
And were you actually working with an additional crime scene officer?
Yes.
And was that Officer Walker?
Yes, it was.
I'm going to hand you an item and see if you recognize it.
You want me to tell you
Yeah.
something?
a individually wrapped item in there?
Yes, it is.
Okay, would you take that out? You may need some scissors. Thank you, Judge.
Want me to take this out?
Take a look and see if you recognize the item in there.
Yes. I recognize it.
And what is that item?
It's of the baby cat.
Judge, I would ask that that be the next exhibit, Exhibit 96. Your Honor, may Officer Williams step down and publish that to the jury?
Hearing no objection?
No objection.
Officer, he would take that out of the bag, and if he would step in front of the jury and show them the item. Thank you, Officer Williams. And is that the same baby cat that we are seeing up here in the picture?
Yes, it is.
And did you and crime scene officer Walker collect that cap on February 2nd of 2022?
Yes.
Now, you also tagged some additional items, is that correct?
Yes.
And were those some baby clothes provided by the family for the dogs to smell, to try to get a scent?
Yes, it was.
Those items, to be clear, were not found at Mud Island,
No, it weren't.
but the baby cap was.
Yes.
And hand you one more photograph and see if you recognize it. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
And what is that a photograph of?
This is the photograph of Mississippi River from a different angle, closer to the edge.
Your Honor, I'd ask that that be Exhibit 97. Permission to publish, Your Honor.
Okay, please.
All right. Was the river fairly high that day?
Yes, it was. I would say.
I'll pass the witness.
Your investigation at the river, that was February the 2nd. Right, of 2022.
Yes, sir, I believe that's the date. I believe so.
And was it early or late today? I know you said it was daytime, right?
Yes, it was.
Do you remember if it was early or late?
It was early.
That's all I know.
It was early.
Early.
Yes, sir.
And looking, please. At Exhibit 89. me pass this up to you while they're getting this on the screen. May I approach? Yeah, that's it. Where in that picture is the cap? Was the cap found?
It's in this area, right up in here, sir.
Okay. Now, where would that be on your picture?
Are you actually?
On the photograph that you
Oh,
have?
correct, right here.
Okay. And how far from the water? Is that the water that would be
The
the
water.
Wolf River?
Yes, sir. Yes, that's what would be that area here.
Okay.
That area here.
About how far away was that cap from the water?
Honestly, if I can guesstimate from here, I would say probably about maybe 10 feet, maybe a little bit less than that. I'm not really sure. I didn't get a measurement from the cap to the water.
I would say probably at least, what, 20, 30 feet?
I wouldn't say that, sir. Not with the water being that there. I would say about 10 feet, maybe. I would say about 10 feet, maybe.
Okay.
I would say guesstimate.
All right. Thank you. Now, in the close-up that you took of that hat, did you actually take those photos?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Were you looking for foot tracks along with it?
No, sir, I wasn't. Honestly, he had investigators, and when I got there, there were already officers and other additional people on the scene.
I see. And was it your thinking then that was the baby's cap, that the baby you were looking for?
This was the information that I was told to take photos of and collect.
Okay. Let me pass you what's previously been marked as Exhibit 95, please. Thank you, Deputy. Is that the cap?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
Were there any, like, trees around that cap?
There was
Close,
basically,
close around
this close around it?
it. Uh-huh.
No, sir, not like immediate on the cap, no, sir. There was shrubbery and debris around the cap.
But it's got a stick over it, I see.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess that's the angle as far as this, because the stick is sticking up here. And that's the angle. If you went around to the other side, it wouldn't be on top of the cap. It wasn't on top of the cap.
Just raised up over the top of it.
Yes, sir, it's kind of like leaning, as you can see. Yes.
It's fair to say that the cap is under the stick, is it not?
Not under the stick, it's just the angle of where the photo was taken from.
I see. Did
So if
you,
I had taken it from the other side, you wouldn't have actually seen the stick.
did you do that?
No, sir, I did not. No.
Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you take a picture from the other side to show? A stick would indicate that cap had been there for a while, wouldn't it?
If it was over it, I'm not saying it would have been there for a while. I can't really say that, sir.
Nobody told you not to take a picture from the other side, did they?
No, sir, no one told me not to.
To your own personal knowledge, you know how the cap got there.
No, sir, I don't know how.
exhibit number 91. Can you make it bigger, please? You have measurements up there, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And that's a measurement that you made, right?
Yes, sir, correct.
And so you show the cap, what's that measurement over by it?
The measurement over by,
The cap, by where the cap was found.
are you actually here?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I apologize, I don't have my glasses, but,
I can appreciate that. I'll give you mine, but it gets scary.
but I'm not able to see that, just at this view here, honestly.
I'm sorry, I missed that last.
I'm not able to see it from this distance.
Well, that exhibit, that picture was made so that you could tell the
Yeah, but
measurement.
I'm just saying, I don't have my glasses, so I'm not able to see the measurements from this.
Would it help if you could get closer?
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to come up and go over there and look? Or maybe up there? Now, try. What exhibit is that? For the record, I'm passing exhibit 91 to you.
Okay. I know, right? Okay, so this measurement here is from this is the gate from the boat dock. And that's the measurement from here to the cap, which is 55 feet, excuse me.
How many?
55.
55 feet.
Yes, sir.
And so if you just kind of turn that measurement around and bend it over to the water, that'd be well over 55 feet from the water, would it not?
Well, sir, actually, this photo was taken from Google. So if you notice, it doesn't have a lot of the shrubbery. The reason I took this photo, put this photo up so you can see an overall view of the boat dock and the area. This is an older image from Google, so it's not a up-to-date image of what the boat dock looked like that day. If you can tell, this sunny and you don't see the shrubberies and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
like I said, I just took this photo and so it would actually have the measurements, not the actual boat dock there.
Okay. Now, I'm not talking about the picture of the shrubbery and all right now. I'm talking about the measurements, and that's what this picture was taken for, so you could write
Yes, sir,
measurements on it.
but you're asking me about the water. So the water that day that Google photo was taken may have been down. I have no idea. So, but what stays the same is the gate. So the gate never moved. So that's why I took the photos, and that's why I had my measurements.
Okay. So according to the measurements you made on exhibit 91, isn't it fair to say that that cap was way, way, way more than 10 feet away from the water?
Not from that day, no, sir.
Not from that photo?
Not from the day that I took the photo. From this photo here and where the water is, possibly. So I'm not able to say from this photo because I don't know what the water level was that day.
Okay. So you didn't do any measurements then from the day of your search?
From the
The
day,
measurements?
yes, sir, I did the measurements for when I took the photos from that day. That day I think it was raining that day, if I'm not mistaken also. So that was the day I took the photos. That's the day I took the measurements in the photos.
I see. And it's, no, have
Yes,
it
sir.
back. Thank you. And with it raining, it's also muddy.
It was also, what, sir?
It was also muddy, wasn't it?
Yes, sir, it was.
Because you got mud,
Yes, sir.
and mud will give you tracks, will it not?
Yes, sir, it was.
Did you look for tracks to show the jury?
No, sir, I didn't personally look for the tracks. No, sir.
One moment, please, Your Honor. Thank you, officer. No further questions.
Can you redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. Officer Williams, so to be clear, this image was not taken on February 2nd of 2022.
No, it wasn't.
This was just so you could give an overview of that area.
Yes, correct.
And in fact, you noted on here that this is not to scale, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And so it's your testimony that the cap was roughly 10 feet from the water on that day. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Now, when you photographed the cap, were you moving it around?
No, I wasn't.
And in fact, you took a close-up photo of the cap, did you not?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to show you what's previously been entered as Exhibit 14. You recognize that photo?
Yes.
Is that a photo you took that day?
Yes, it is.
Is that the photograph of the baby cap that you collected?
Yes, it is.
Did you move that baby cap before taking that photo?
No, I didn't.
Do you see a stick over that baby cap?
No, I don't.
Now, as far as footprints and muddy tracks, is there a lot of vegetation and brush in this area?
Yes, it is.
Could that impact the ability to find footprints?
I would believe so. Not an expert on that, but I believe so.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
You don't know where the water was that day to make this measurement, do you? The measurements we were talking about during my question.
From the baby cap to the waters, which
Yeah, I'm not talking about that little stream beside it, I'm talking about to the river.
Are you talking about to the Wolf River or the Mississippi? You're talking about?
Whichever
Okay.
one was closest.
No, sir, I didn't, to answer your question, I didn't take measurements from the water to the cap. No, sir.
So what was the purpose of your exhibit 91 with all the measurements?
It was to show where the cap was located.
And when you took that photo, you had to move the stick, didn't you?
No, sir, I didn't move the stick. No, sir.
Where's the stick then? The other photo had the stick on it.
Well, that's what I was saying. It was the angle of where I took the photo.
Do you remember that day if you moved the stick?
I don't move any evidence from anything. I take it the way it is the way it is.
Well, how soon after the photo with the stick on the cap did you take this picture?
It wasn't a stick on the cap, sir. When I take the photo, if this is the cap, and I take the photo, because when I took the angle, it was a stick sitting up. So I took the angle of the photo. So when I got over the cap, I took that photo standing kind of over the cap, so it was a downward angle. So the other photo that I took was at a slight angle. So it may have showed the stick from that angle being over the cap, but it was not over the cap. It was like this. So it wasn't on top of the cap or anything.
Would it be important for from a crime scene investigator's viewpoint to be able to give whatever evidence you photograph to police for use or whatever further testing they may use?
Repeat that, please. I didn't.
Yes, would it be important to you as a crime scene investigator to collect, did you actually collect this cap or did you just take pictures?
No, sir, I collected the cap also.
Okay,
Yes.
so why did you collect the cap?
I was advised by the investigators that they needed that cap collected for evidence.
They needed the cap as evidence.
Yes, sir.
And so that's so that cap could be taken into evidence and eventually show this jury.
Yes, sir, correct.
Okay, and you don't know if any testing was done on that cap to see whose cap that was,
No, sir, I don't know if it was any done.
or when it got there.
Well, when I collected and I secure it and I place it in a bag so it's not contaminated, and I tag it into evidence tool.
Thank you, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may sit down.
You want me to put this?
I got it. Go ahead, please.
State calls Kyle Borland.
Mr. Borland, come forward. Watch your step. Stand right here, face your honor, raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please have a seat. Watch yourself.
Would you please state and spell your name for the jury?
My name is Kyle Borland. It's spelled Kyle-E-B-O-U-R-L-A-N-D.
And where are you employed?
I'm employed with the Oakland Fire Department.
Now, are you also part of the Braden dive team?
Yes, ma'am. And for clarity, we were Braden dive team at the time of this. We've since transitioned to the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
So at that time, what was the Braden dive team?
We're a public safety dive team. We specialize in body recovery, evidence recovery, and hazardous materials recovery.
And how many years have you been a member?
Just over 5 years.
And what kind of training do you have?
So I'm trained by ERDI, which is an organization that certifies public safety divers for body recovery and evidence recovery and hazmat.
Now, I'm going to take you back to February 2nd of 2022, where you called out to Mud Island.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall about what time of day it was?
I received the call that afternoon, probably, I want to say around 2 o'clock.
And when you got there, was it still daylight?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you asked to help conduct a search?
Yes, ma'am.
And initially, what were you looking for?
We were told we were looking for a 2-day-old infant that had been thrown into the river, as well as a firearm.
Now, I'm going to show you what's previously been entered as Exhibit 90. Do you recognize this area?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you describe for the jury what we're seeing?
That is the northern tip of Mud Island, where the old boat ramp goes into the Wolf River.
And so what is this right here?
That's the Wolf River.
Okay. And then here?
That's the Mississippi.
All right. And then what about right there?
That's the old boat ramp.
Okay. Now, can you describe for the jury, how did the search work with regards to, let me back up a little bit. Were you actually in the water?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so from a diver's perspective, can you sort of tell the jury how that search worked?
Sure. So when we do a dive, we typically do it in an arching pattern. We put a diver into the water. He has a tether that goes to a line tender on the surface, and the line tender is directing the diver. The tether is actually a comm rope, so it has communication wire in it. He can direct that diver And we typically do it in a sweeping motion, sort of a semicircle, and the line tender will let out additional line to put the diver further out, or bring line in to bring the diver in, so we can cover a large search area, searching like that.
Can you describe for the jury what it's like when you're underwater in the Wolf in the Mississippi?
That time of year, it's very, very cold. Water temperatures low 40s. It's very dark. You can't see anything. Can't see your hand in front of your face. The bottom is where I was searching is rocky. A little bit of mud and sand as you go further out, but closer to the boat ramp, it's very rocky.
You mentioned that it was cold, the water in the 40s. Were you wearing what most of us know as a wetsuit?
No, ma'am. So we wear dry suits. They're designed to keep you completely dry underneath the suit.
Does it keep you warm?
No, ma'am.
Now, when you're under the water, how were you searching? Were you able to see anything?
No, ma'am. We search with our hands.
And are you receiving direction from someone above the water?
Yes, ma'am. The line tender.
Now, in that particular area of the Wolf, can you describe for the jury what is the situation with the current?
So in the Wolf River, the current that day is flowing into the Mississippi, and I would say it was probably around 3 to 4 miles an hour, the current was.
Is that always how it flows?
No, ma'am.
And how can it sometimes flow?
Sometimes it can flow away from the Mississippi, and the current speed can vary depending on weather conditions.
Now, were you able to, well, at some point, was the search suspended?
Yes, ma'am. It was suspended that evening for inclement weather, an ice storm.
And did the dive team eventually go out a couple days later?
Yes, ma'am, we did. We went out to run sonar, but the first day was the only day that we dove.
Now, when you were diving, did you recover Kennedy oil?
No, ma'am.
And you mentioned that you were also asked to look for a gun, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you recover a gun?
No, ma'am.
Can you describe, as far as underwater in that area, what are we talking about as far as the floor of the river?
Mud, rocks, sand, depending on how far you go out.
Are there a lot of crevices?
Yes, ma'am.
Would it be easy for a gun to be in one of those crevices?
Yes, ma'am.
And would it be easy for you not to be able to locate it in those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Last witness.
Mr. Borland, how do you use the sonar?
So we use a side scan sonar. I wasn't running sonar that day, but I've run sonar before. It has a transducer that goes into the water and a head unit that sits on top of the boat. It sends out a beam straight down to the bottom and out. So it shows us a side image of what's on both sides of the boat.
Okay. How far out does that image go?
It can vary. We can set it 100 feet. We can set it 75, 50. We adjust it as needed.
Do you know what it was set for this particular search?
No, ma'am. I wasn't running sonar that day.
Okay. But running the sonar, you did not find the gun at the bottom of the river, right?
No, ma'am. A gun would be very difficult to see with all the rocks, even on sonar.
Okay. And you had a general area that y'all believed the gun should be.
Yes, ma'am.
And a gun is heavy.
Yes, ma'am.
A gun is made of metal.
Yes, ma'am.
A gun will sink.
Yes, ma'am.
And you indicated that the water was going 3 to 4 miles an hour.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that in the Wolf River or in the Mississippi River?
In the Wolf.
Okay. And was it the same for the Mississippi?
I don't know.
Okay. So did you actually dive into the Mississippi?
Not into the Mississippi. Our search area covered the Wolf River right off the boat ramp.
Okay, so your dive team didn't go to the Mississippi at all?
They went in to run sonar, but not into dive.
Okay. Now, on this day when you came out there, was it still raining?
If I recall, there was a light drizzle while we were out there.
And do you recall it having been raining the night before?
No, ma'am.
You don't recall that?
Raining the night before we went out?
Yes.
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
Okay. And the rain would affect the level of the river, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The more it rains, the higher the river would go.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have.
No rewrite, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may sit down.
Thank you, Judge. State call is Hunter Winfrey.
Mr. Winfrey, come forward. Watch your step. Stand right here, face your honor, raise your right hand.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Absolutely.
Please have a seat. Watch your step.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
If you would, please state your name and spell it for the jury and court reporter.
My name is Hunter Winfrey. Last name Winfrey.
Mr. Winfrey, are you part of a dive team?
Yes, I'm a coordinator.
Did you work with Mr. Borland, we just heard from?
I did.
What do you do with that dive team?
At the time, we were with Braden Fire Department.
This is February 2nd?
This is February, yeah.
Of 2022.
And we've just transferred over to Shelby County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
And I'm coordinator, dive coordinator there.
Okay. What is it? Were you coordinator back then?
I was.
Okay. What does the dive coordinator do?
Well, it's basically all repairs, all training, everything responsible for the dive team.
Okay.
Just coordinating everything.
And did you guys, and back then the Braden dive team, get a call out to the Wolf River, where the Wolf River meets Mississippi on February 2nd, 2022?
We did. We received a call from Director Bartlett of the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. We were doing a lot of mutual aid work for them.
What do you do? What was the call about?
Person in the water is just how we originally got it, and we didn't get a full briefing until we made the scene.
And when you made the scene, did they told you more particulars?
They did.
With respect to what you're looking at? What did they tell you?
Well, they told us, they had found a hat. They told us where the hat was. We just went through, they were saying that they thought he had thrown it in the water from that position. And we just kind of put together, as we always do, what the distance was, how far could somebody have thrown it, just those kind of things.
Okay.
And then we launched the boat.
Is that what you call a briefing about the situation?
Yes, because we're trying to get all the details to find out exactly what we're about to do. See what the mission is.
What's one of your main concerns? And we had a diver that testified. Is diver safety, is that a concern in this?
That's always number one.
Okay. Do you remember what time it was on February 2nd that you guys get out there?
It was early afternoon. I don't remember exactly what time it was, but it was after lunch.
Okay.
when we made the scene.
After lunch on February 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could describe for the jury just how you go about doing the search.
Well,
as a team, because you have folks and divers, correct?
We do, and what we do is, depending on the situation, we will actually, because everything's a tool in toolbox, and once we got the information, we put boats in the water, and we ran side scan sonar, because you're trying to narrow down your search area, because it's very difficult with side scan sonar. If you think about, and I may be telling you too much, but side scan sonar is like a flashlight, and it's shining beams outside from the bottom. So like my fingers are, if there's an object in the water off of the bottom, it's going to cast a shadow on the back side. So once we have something that doesn't look like a normal anomaly in the water, you know, something that's round with jagged edges. It may look like riprap, something that just looks out of the norm. We'll mark that. And when I say mark that, we mark it on GPS on a chart plotter. And once we get that, then we try to triangulate it to get different angles to view different parts of what we're looking at. Because you have to think about the diver. The diver can't see how deep he is. He can't see anything. So his motion of search is just an arm's reach, and that's only one arm, because his other arm is on a line that we communicate through, and that's how we keep tight. That's how we keep tight search patterns, is because that's crucial in the water for us to be able to make patterns that overlap, so we can cover an area. So we put the boats in the water. That whole area at the mouth of the Wolf River, we ran side scan sonar as well as Shelby County, and we had some things that, you know, a lot of riprap, and there was even concrete matting, which the Corps of Engineers puts down for erosion control. So we were able to identify a lot of that, but there were some smaller rocks that we did mark, and it was just one of those things that you just kind of go, well, let's go ahead, we've got these marks, let's dive it. Because a lot of times you may not dive. It might not just, you know, we've ruled all these things out. But that particular day, being the situation, we had a 2-day-old, we just, you know, we went ahead and dove that. Okay. And when you're talking about the safety considerations, water temp, I think that day was 42.
Okay.
So we do dive encapsulated, so it's full dry suits, full face mask, hoods, gloves. So, you know, we do have thermal protection, but the water's 42 degrees.
Still very cold.
Yes.
But better than falling in your street clothes? Fair?
Oh, absolutely. You'd only have minutes at 42.
You mentioned something, I know what this is, but I don't know if everybody does. You said riprap a couple times?
Yes.
What is that?
Well, you know, you have limestone gravel. Riprap is your big rocks. You see them all along the edge of ditches, drainways, riverbanks.
Are there large riprap? Is the riprap under the water as well, or?
It is. Well, you got to think of them putting it on the bank. They're not hand placing it. So I mean, extra rocks are going to roll off in the water.
Does would the riprap, currents, silt, all those things in the river make it difficult to find a firearm?
Oh, absolutely.
And those conditions, difficult conditions, right? You're concerned about diver safety. Would it be difficult to find a 2-day-old infant many hours after she had been thrown in the water?
Yes, and typically an adult and a larger child, when they drown, they go straight to the bottom. An infant throws that other variable in there, you know, 2-day-old. You don't have bone structure, you don't have any of that stuff. So the possibility of that infant, you know, floating was great. But like I said, we saw those items and we did a thorough search, at least over halfway across that Wolf River Inlet.
Okay. I'm going to show you, I'm going to hand forward a few photographs. And you don't have to describe them just yet, but just let us know if you recognize those.
Yes. These are...
That's kind of the route you guys searched, roughly?
It is, and you'll see the... Do y'all have that up? No.
Yeah, we're going to put them up just a second.
Okay.
We'll get them marked. Jennifer, if we could have those marked as the next number 99.
Yes, I do recognize it.
98 through 100, Judge, I think. All right, Judge, if I could publish these first.
Please.
Thank you. Look at that little zoomed in there. And Mr. Winfrey, if you could describe what we're looking at here.
Okay, what you see on this now, our particular boat is not in those red lines as you see. This is SAR topo, and this would have been generated in the command post. But all of the boats or all the people on the search actually by your phone, it's an app that we use that has your position wherever you are at all times when on a mission like this. So you see the circular from the red dot out, those are just zones that gives us distance. It wasn't obviously our area of search, but you do see the red lines? Those are where those boats went. It doesn't show us at the mouth because at that time, like I said, was that almost 4 years ago? We weren't part of Shelby County at that time, so we weren't on this SAR topo piece of it.
Okay.
So what you're seeing, those red lines that are all moving about up there, those are Shelby County boats.
And that red dot right there in the middle, what is that?
I'm assuming that that's probably where the hat was found.
Okay.
I'm going to object to any speculation.
Okay.
All right.
Stay.
We'll, next number exhibit, please. But that's the radius of, you know, your search radius, those lines that are coming out the circles? Or is that?
No, not our search, that's not our search radius. Wherever you have a pinpoint, that's going to be, it just tells you distances from that point.
Okay.
As you can see where it says diver cleared, that's the part of the mouth and the area of where we cleared.
Okay.
We didn't do anything behind it except the boat ramp, any of that area.
Okay, we got the next, you can tell us what this is.
That's, is that several days later?
Yeah, if I'm looking at it correctly, it's February the 6th.
Okay. So we had at the end of our mission day, I mean, it got dark on us. We had that ice storm moving in. So we didn't do any of the dive operations from that point, but we did go back down, and what you see the red lines also, those are boats doing their search patterns. Basically at that point, we're looking for, you know, any items on the riverbank, anything that's questionable, anything floating.
If we have the next number on it, that is
Of course, the river was on a rise too. I mean, it was big flow coming out of the Wolf and on the Mississippi River.
have there been some storms recent to that?
I don't at all.
And this is the final, I guess, search is this February 6th? I see February 6th in the middle of the photo.
Oh, okay, yes. Same thing. And that may be, was that the same dates to different picture?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, I think it's just the same thing.
And those are boats, those are the path of boats searching for things on the Mississippi River, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Were y'all ever able to find the baby, the infant?
No, we didn't find any,
Or a firearm?
no.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
Just to be clear, these red lines, are those from your boats or from Shelby County's boats?
Shelby County boats.
Okay, so you weren't actually on any of the red
No, ma'am.
lines?
No, ma'am. Not at
so
that time.
What you're testifying to is purely based on looking at a diagram that you kind of know what that diagram
No,
is
no,
about?
I was there. I mean, I was there, and I know what this diagram is. It just that particular day, we didn't have that app on our phone because we weren't functioning as Shelby County. We were there as a mutual aid role, as a request. So we didn't get, you know, we weren't tapped in. They knew where our area was of search, but we just weren't on this map.
Right, so none of those red lines are y'all?
No.
And the diver cleared area, was that y'all or was that Shelby County?
No, that's us.
Okay, so that portion of it is what y'all searched?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, one moment. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. You may sit
All right.
down.
Our state calls Andy Tweed.
Tweed come forward and watch your step. Stand right here, face your honor, raise your right hand.
Good morning.
Morning.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Have a seat, watch your step.
Thank
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
If you would state your name, and if you could spell it for the jury and the court reporter, please.
Andy Tweed, Andy-Tweed.
And where do you work?
I just retired from the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
You're making us all jealous.
Worked for them for 32 years.
Okay, and what do they do?
We enforce all the wildlife and boating laws in the state of Tennessee. And I was assigned to Shelby County and have been here for 32 years and spent most of my time on the Mississippi River enforcing the wildlife and boating laws.
Did you guys get a call to search for a baby, an infant, in the Wolf River, Mississippi River area, and a firearm back on February 2nd, 2022?
Yes, we did. We actually got a call from TBI requesting our assistance.
How long have you been doing this type of work, Mr. Tweed?
Been doing this since 1993.
And you've learned a lot about the river over these years?
Yes, sir.
How have you learned about the river?
Learned actually just being on my own on the river the whole time. And we checked the commercial fishermen out there, we checked the duck hunters, the deer hunters, and assist our fisheries department in sampling for fish. So an average week, I'm on the river 3 days a week, 4 days a week.
Have you taken classes or any type of things like that to learn about the river?
I did. When I was in college, I got a 4-year degree in wildlife biology. And when I was in the summers in college, I was a fishing guide out in Yellowstone Park. And in order to be a fishing guide in Yellowstone Park, we had to spend 2 weeks doing the first aid classes and the Red Cross classes, and the Coast Guard actually from the Columbia River Basin came and taught us about inland waterways and search and rescue and things of that nature.
Have you been on a lot of search and rescues
Yes.
over the years?
Yes.
About how many?
I would say on the Mississippi River and McKellar Lake, roughly 30.
Searching actually for bodies?
Yes, 30 to 35.
Have you trained people on river searches?
I have.
Have you trained people to search for bodies on the river and bodies of water?
Yes.
Can we tender Andy Tweed as a expert in river search and rescue and recovery?
May we approach?
Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen.
Good.
The 2nd of February 2022, right?
Yes, sir.
For a baby, an infant. Do you remember about what time that was?
Roughly 10 o'clock in the morning. I think we probably got the call about 9, had to go get a boat, and I met 2 of my sergeants and an individual from TBI. And like I said, the request came from TBI to get a boat and help them look at, it was my understanding we were looking for an infant and a carrier or both. And after an hour and a half or 2 hours of the search, we were all the way down to what they call the economy boat store, which is below the I-55 bridge, when the gentleman from TBI got a phone call and said,
Objection to hearsay.
Your response?
Did you, I'll ask.
Sustain.
Did you learn anything that you acted upon?
no. I mean, we didn't find anything.
Okay. Did you take any actions as a result of a phone call?
Yes, I took the TBI agent back to the boat ramp where the original crime scene was supposedly was.
If you could tell us about how the currents work on the river and all that sort of thing, if you could.
I can. In that particular area is the boat ramp, is what we call the north boat ramp on Mud Island. And on the north side of the boat ramp, the Wolf River dumps into the Mississippi River. If you'll go north of that, up the Mississippi River about 600 yards, you have a place called the Lucy Woodstock Terminal. And from that point up to about Jimmy T. Woods, the river is about a 3 or 4 mile stretch that the currents flow directly into that.
If I can interrupt you, this might help you.
Yeah, absolutely, be great.
If I can fast forward this, it's the, yeah.
It's the what?
I'm sorry, it's the defense has it. It's he'll tell us what it is. Maybe.
Okay, this is a flash drive, and it's a picture of the Mississippi River.
Thank you.
It's actually a video.
The video, yes.
You know, we got that numbered as the next number of the video.
And this envelope is labeled
This
River
would be-
Video.
Is it 101?
Initial. Exhibit 101?
Yes, ma'am.
These are your initials.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, just checking.
We could publish.
Yes, please.
And Mr. Tweed, if you could just let us know when to pause it, because that will help you better explain to the jury how things are working there.
All right, you can pause it right there.
Okay.
All right, this location right here, you see the muddy water coming into the Mississippi River, that is the Wolf River, where it dumps into the Mississippi River. That barge is hooked up to what they call the Lucy Woodstock Terminal. Just upstream from that is where the majority of the current comes in, and it goes underneath that barge, it goes right down the Mud Island revetment area right there. And as you get south of the boat ramp right here, the current starts to go back out towards the main channel and underneath the I-40 bridge.
Okay. I see. Now this is obviously wasn't taken the day of, correct?
No, sir.
Was the water level different the day of?
A little bit. I think it was a little bit higher than this.
Why is the water different?
Apparently, you got two different colors, and what you've got, the Wolf River, apparently we've had a rain event upstream, and that's what's causing it to be muddy and very viscous.
Do the currents coming out of the Wolf and the currents going down the Mississippi, do they kind of clash in some way?
They do. They do.
Does that create some turbulence?
It does.
If you could tell the jury, well, I wanted to ask you, are the currents deceptive in these rivers?
Absolutely they are.
I don't know if you know this, but do you know what the water volume is running down the Mississippi or down the Wolf River?
I don't.
Object to his qualifications on testing to something that requires scientific information.
I was just asking if you knew. He never answered the
Ask
question.
if he knew. If he doesn't know, I will allow him to answer overruled. If you don't know, you don't.
No, not offhand.
That's fine. Now, you indicated that there are sandbars and things like that.
Yes.
In the river. Can you tell us a little bit about the sandbars and the currents and how that works?
All right. The river is constantly changing. Every day it is changing. And of course the Corps of Engineers has to come in and dredge and keep the channel open, and they put new dike revetments in all the time, so that changes the navigable waterway or the channel itself. So it is a changing river every day.
The water was very cold on February 2nd, 2022?
Yes, I would say between 38 and 42 degrees.
What would happen to, say, an adult, if I fell in right now with my
Your Honor,
clothes on?
may we approach?
Pardon me, again. I'll be right with you.
That would survive.
Objection, Your Honor.
Your response?
Well, he's indicated that he's an expert. He indicated he has significant knowledge in rivers, the currents, the action that the river would have on a body. We have a case here where a body was thrown in the river. We're asking him what might happen to a body that was thrown in that river on February 2nd, 2022.
Object to him testifying in front of the jury that a body was.
I will
thrown in the river.
sustain the objection. Go ahead, please.
Would it be difficult to find the body that was thrown in the water?
Absolutely would. A body of that size. We only recover in the adults maybe 60%.
Would it be difficult to find a firearm that was thrown in that water?
Extremely.
Do you think it's likely you'd find a firearm thrown in that water?
It would be extremely difficult.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions.
I'll be addressing wildlife officer, is it Officer Tweed?
Yes, sir.
We appreciate the good work you guys do.
Thank you, sir.
But on February the 2nd, 2022, you didn't know whether a body had been thrown in that river or not, did you?
I did not, no, sir.
And you didn't know if a crime then had been committed at that spot.
No, sir.
Why did you call the crime scene then to the jury?
When we got there, it was already a crime scene.
Because police were there.
Yeah, the police were there and they had the ambulance and the fire truck and all that.
I see. And did you find anything?
No, sir.
And you searched in the water?
We searched the bank. We were looking, as I told you earlier, we were looking for either a body or a carrier, you know, the little baby carrier. And I went to every known location where you have a little bit of an eddy water where that would have washed up.
So you had a crime scene with no evidence
Yes, sir.
of a crime?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Any redirect?
Yes, ma'am. You weren't out there on a ski trip, were you?
No, sir.
You got information there was a body in the river. That's why you were out there, correct?
Absolutely. That's the information that I got, and that's what we were looking for. But no, sir, we did not find anything.
Nothing further there.
So you had no evidence? Found no evidence?
I found no evidence. No, sir.
Thank you. You may sit down, and
We do.
congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you very much.
This might be a good breaking point.
Yes, ma'am.
It's time for y'all to eat again. Don't be so excited.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, leave your pens and pass in the chair and follow me, please.
We'll be in touch. No discussion of anything, you know nothing. Not with each other, not with the law, not with the deputies.
My husband said I don't know.
taking away.
Somebody's holding the door, but I was waiting for the door to close. I wasn't being weird. I was waiting on the door to close so that we could continue to speak outside the jury's presence. How may I help you? Is this a 30-minute window you need to set up audio?
We just need to get speakers and set it up, and then we'll be ready to go.
Let's discuss. If it is now 11:20, it's going to take you approximately 30 minutes to set up speakers. The jury has to be fed at noon. So how far do you want to get into witness number
That's been,
17, Sergeant Winbush?
yes, ma'am.
How far do you want to get into it? Do you want to start before or after lunch, or anyway? If I start him, once you set up your speakers, he's going to be interrupted.
Right.
And I'm told there's a 4-hour video.
Fortunately, it kind of helps. I would rather start after lunch, Frank, because the first video, it's in 6 different segments. So we can do a segment, and then if we decide it's enough for the day, we can stop or whatever. But I'd rather, I think it's better to start after lunch. The first segment is the longest. It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
That's what I'm asking. I don't want to have him come in,
Right.
take the stand at noon, and then we
Yeah.
break immediately.
I agree, yeah.
As much as they may object to being fed, we still have a duty. So, what time are we thinking to reconvene? It's 12 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Who's going with you?
They're gonna bring it here.
They're bringing it? Even Bill.
I guess it depends on what time they get their food.
It's actually supposed to be here at 12.
I'm told noon.
Okay.
1:15, I guess?
1 o'clock. Report back, 1 o'clock. Recess.
Court stands recess until 1 o'clock.